And hello, and Happy New Year to you. This is the morning. New Year's is tonight, or tomorrow rather. Okay, we're here at a wooded spot where we're studying today, looking at the, I just noticed now that we have our painting, we have our drop off from this point on, but I noticed when I'm looking at it, you can only look at one at a time. I could look at this area in front of me as I study how to make the distance of 20 feet with as few lines as possible. And I noticed that you can't look at one without the other being blurry slightly. If I'm looking down there, 20 feet down, this right here is a little bit blurry in my vision because I'm not looking at it. And if I'm looking at this, all that down there is a little off blurry. So, that certainly helps in making the distance, because I would, from this one line right here, where it curves and the separation of the distance here, I could blend the colors back a little bit off, maybe impressionistic a little bit, kind of not exactly completely focused, things broken up a little bit as I see it, and then blend everything away from that clear. Because in reality, of course, you can't look at both at the same time and have them both be clear. One's going to be a little blurrier. So I'm going to have to incorporate that somehow here. I guess the decision would be that whatever's here in front of me will be the more, I don't know. It might be interesting. I have to think about this. To have this clear, everything right here, just no problem. Make the everything very abstract, sort of much like or impressionistic, or a little of both, like the flowers in the woods, which was inspired by this area from a study. And so it would be almost like two different types of painting. Right. Going to blend painting styles is what we're going to blend. I think, in fact, I was having a thought about that, how certain things, almost take on works of art almost take on many different categories. They seem a little bit this way, a little bit cubistic, a little abstract, and I hadn't really considered that seriously enough. I figure, there we go, looking at rules again, thinking that, well, if you start a picture a certain way, it's got to be a certain type, but a certain type is only identified, I guess, after it's been painted. And I guess if enough people are doing that, then it has a category. But of course, I'm not about the rules so much with the painting, as you may have noticed or heard me say. Perhaps it's time to get my professional game going here on the video thing. Perhaps I should, fix my hair or check a mirror before I start these and have a thought about that. So. Oh. Like, literally, check. We have, please, check. Giant sticks and branches, pieces of trees that have fallen off. In fact, there's many here in New Jersey. When we had the hurricane a couple years ago, literally, like half of every tree was knocked down. And the landscape was changed for quite some time. Certainly always a place of growth. But if you notice, there's quite some woodwork on the ground here. And as far as the blending of, I mean, you know, it's like even one object can have a solid appearance while maintaining a same abstract quality. And I mean like of it breaking up a little bit. And again, I just recently took in some of the impressionist art videos, and I keep referring to the flowers in the woods. I'm going to refer to that again. Now you can see how they appear to be broken up, the edges. I'm going to insert that now. And maybe not as broken up, but even a single branch or a stick on the ground doesn't have to be one or the other types of... Okay. We're just going places here. In fact, you know, the whole schematic here is designed to bring your eye back to what's going to be the highlight in the distance, again, right in the distance, that highlight, all these eye magnets, interesting things come back, lead us back to the point as it is naturally set up, which is why I painted thing again, you know, so it's a schematic of the painting. You could have major pointers, almost cubistic, little cubism maybe throw in there as an interesting eye magnet in the midst of the rest, something that is clearly not meant to be like this. I'm seeing two white sticks. Let's see if we can get that. No, two branches, and then there's a white branch going over it. I'm going to take a picture of that. Almost looks a little bit like our friend's cubistic wavy lines. Okay, let's see if we can find that. We can move this. Oh, we can move this. There it is. We got our two pointing, right? Two large branches and our cubistic white other branch on top, pointing perhaps back to our, there it is. That is our tree in the distance. That in June-ish, for about 90 days, gets a highlight on it at about 3:30 in the afternoon. So we have that in the distance, and as we can see here, our other tree also over here, 20 feet down. We're looking at this at about 9 feet up. That other tree, we can see the whole thing. This one starts down there. The other tree, we can see the whole thing, but also looking at it at about 9 feet up. It's beautiful perspective. I'm sitting about 3 feet off the ground here. And it's so well made that, you know, requires no artistic input. So why do it? We'll just make it a map of what you can do. Okay, glorious, wonderful discovery today. But we are going to get on the move right now. I think it's getting a little crowded in here right now, so I will see you next time.